This video guidance is for EMS tutors within the university. So once you've been given your credentials by the RCVS, you just need to input them into the database. So I've got my username up at the top and then my password here, and I can press login. Now, as I am an EMS tutor, but I'm also an EMS provider, I've got multiple roles within this database. So I just need to ensure that I'm selecting the university so that I'm going in as an EMS tutor. And I have the same options to search for placements as a student does. So I've got AHEMS placement searches and clinical EMS placement searches here as well. So you're free to have a search for a placement yourself, or if you're sat down with a student, you can go through some placements with them. But probably more importantly to you as the tutor, we've got the approvals, viewing the student bookings, and the message columns here. So I'm just going to look at approvals to begin with. So I can see I've got various students that are waiting approval. If I just go to this first one, I've got a little icon here, which is an information. It brings up a key to tell me what all these symbols will mean that are at the bottom of this student's booking. So the first thing I want to do is assign this student to me. Now, you can leave it unassigned. That's absolutely fine. However, if you have 2 or 3 EMS tutors that are managing the booking database, then you might want to select your own students for yourself. So I'm going to assign this student to me. If at any point I was to not be at university, if I was ill or somebody else needed to take this booking, they can take that booking to themselves. So it doesn't get lost in the system if I can't access it. I can see I've got a message waiting in this student's booking as well. And I'm just going to look at this in view and manage just to see what this student has requested a booking for. So it's at the RCVS test practice. I've got the address there. I can see it's Timmy who's requested the booking. He's a 4th year. It's been accepted by the EMS provider, and these are the dates, totaling a number of 5 days EMS. Timmy's asked for all full days there, so there's no part-time requests within this booking. And then if I want to look a little bit further in to see what Timmy's learning objectives are and why he's selected this placement, I can click on this arrow and I can get a bit more information from there. So he's chosen this provider because he's done work experience there before and he's really enjoyed it. He's popped his learning objectives in there. So this is for you to have a look at and just make sure that you agree that they're appropriate learning objectives for Timmy. And if you should have any concerns or queries about them, then that will be the time to maybe speak to Timmy about them. He's asked for some additional information from the provider. He's asked if there's any specialists in emergency and critical care at the provision. But again, that additional information is free text for the student, so they might tell the provider a little bit more about themselves, for example. I can then look at the booking history. So I can see that Timmy requested the booking. The EMS provider has accepted the booking, and me, the EMS tutor, has assigned myself the booking. Then I can just have a look at the declaration and just make sure that that provider has signed the agreement. So it's a clinical provider and I can see that they have signed the agreement, and I can see that their signature is valid until 2028 and the agreement is effective until 2025. So if I'm completely happy with this booking, I can go ahead and approve it. If I need to cancel it for any reason, I would select cancel. Whether you approve or cancel a booking, you will then have the option to send a message. So you can send a message to both the student and provider, and that will then become a 3-way conversation. Or if you wanted to, you could send different messages. So you could send a message to the student and a message to the provider, and only the recipient of those messages will be able to see and respond to them. Equally, you don't need to send any messages. So if everything looks fine and you're happy with it, you can just go ahead and approve. It will give you a prompt to make sure that you're happy to approve it without a message. And yes, I've approved it. So now I can see that I've just got a couple more waiting approval in there. But if I go back to my home page, I can view all the student bookings. So I can have a look through and see when it was that the student has requested this placement. So this is the one that we've just approved, and you can see it's gone from the requested to an accepted, now to an approved. So I'm happy with that, but again, if I wanted to have another look at it, I can just go and revisit that booking request if I wanted to. The other thing you are able to do from this view and manage bookings is go to the search, filter and sort. So for example, if I only wanted to see students that have got AHEMS placements booked or accepted or approved, then I can just select AHEMS. Equally, if it's only the first years I'm interested in, then I can get rid of the rest of the years, and I will only see booking requests, approvals and acceptances from those bookings. If you need any extra help, you can go up to the hamburger menu in the top right hand corner, and there is a full help guidance for you there. And then you can read your privacy policy there as well. And you can change role selections if you have multiple role selections within the database. Just quickly looking into the messages. So I'll just check in my message. I can see I've got quite a few unread messages in there. And I can have a look to see if there's any that I need to action. So I can see at some point one of our admin has cancelled the booking of this student. But I can then look into the provider and the student and just see what messages they've received regarding this as well, and that it has been a cancelled booking.